The Oklahoma City Metro has some big ideas about the future of transportation, and that includes plans for a commuter rail that would connect Oklahoma City to Edmond in the north and to Norman in the south. But this is going to need voters to say yes, as well as a new tax to likely make it happen. And here to talk about the plan is the interim director of One Transit, Jason Fairbrush, as well as a board member of One Transit out of Edmond, Deshaun Heisel. Thanks so much to both of you for being here.
Oh, thank you for having us.
So Oklahoma, this is a place where people like their cars, they like their trucks, they like to drive places. So when we start talking about, regional rail, when we start talking about commuter rail, public transportation, is it a hard buy? Is it a hard sell, Jason? Like, make the sell here. Why we need to do this sort of plan?
Sure. Well, I think it depends on what direction you think our region is going. And if you think our region is going to continue to grow, prosper, and be competitive like it has in the past, then absolutely high capacity transit is needed. And it's needed to keep up with our growth. We know our population in this area is going to be about 2 million by the year 2040. We know it's needed to be competitive. When you look at top 20 cities, we are probably the only top 20 city in that list that doesn't have a high capacity regional transit system. And it's important for quality of life. So yeah, it's needed. The other thing I might add is, municipalities are often trying to play catch up to growth. This is an opportunity to get ahead of the growth.
Okay, interesting. And so when we're talking about Edmond, for example, Deshaun, I mean, what is the, for you, what do you picture? What's the exciting thing? How do you see people in Edmond using a commuter rail that can get you down to OKC or down to Norman, and vice versa, bringing people up to Edmond? Like, how would that be used?
Sure. That's actually one of the things that we're studying right now as a One Transit board, are peer city trips in Salt Lake City and Grapevine, where they've had successful transit systems in sizes much like the cities that will support this One Transit initiative with Norman, Oklahoma City, and Edmond. So we're looking at a rail sharing the BNSF line that will connect Norman all the way to North Edmond.
And of course, that would go right through downtown Edmond, would it not?
It would.
I mean, it's actually set up kind of nice if you want to get people into the place where you want to drive people to spend money.
Absolutely.
In Edmond, for example.
Absolutely. And we've seen a resurgence with downtown Edmond, and this actually propels that growth and that economic investment further for the next 50 years.
Right. Now, I know originally Moore was always kind of thought of as being included in this plan. Moore is not in this plan, Jason.
That's right.
How does that impact going forward? And is there going to be a chance for Moore to get in down the road, or is that done?
Sure. Well, as far as impacting the future of the project, the BNSF right-of-way, as we know, runs right through Moore. It won't impact the service. It just simply means there would not be a stop in Moore. Now, the One Transit Board of Directors obviously has opportunities to engage with Moore if they ever decide they want to be part of the organization. But at this point in time, it really doesn't affect the project.
When you announced this, you put out some renderings and it showed OU fans, for example, getting off in Norman. Is that kind of the thought, like, we're going to use this, people can use it, of course, on a daily basis, but really this is going to be something also to drive people, get them off the highways and get them to special events like an OU football game?
Yeah, absolutely. And, that's the thing about the commuter rail, and I think that's one of the things that the One Transit Board has done such a good job of, is thinking about, what is the purpose, what is the intentionality? And so, yes, allowing people choices, different ways to get to sporting events like Thunder games, like OU football games, but also being able to access all the cultural events that our region has to offer, whether it be the Arts Festival in Oklahoma City or the Music Festival in Norman, and then education opportunities. If you think about the spine, if you will, of the system connecting Edmond, Oklahoma City, and Norman, there's 3 large universities in each one of those cities. And then, of course, employment. Connecting people to employment is something, transit has always done a great job of.
Deshaun, I mentioned that this is going to take a vote because this would require a new tax. Are you able to talk about kind of what the finances would look like and what people in these communities would basically be signing up for if they were to vote yes on something like this?
Yes, we're working with city councils among all 3 of those cities that are part of One Transit to finalize what that tax looks like. And then city councils will then take that into consideration to put it on a ballot.
And for this plan and this tax, would that include the plans for the light rail going out to the airport? Because I know a lot of people are excited about that possibility.
Right. Well, I think it's a great question, because the tax levy that's being proposed and modeled, whatever that ends up being, is really designed to support the entire system. So although we talk a lot about commuter rail and how significant it is, it's really a tax that would support a regional transit system, including enhanced bus, so enhancing the existing bus network, adding additional bus rapid transit routes to some of our major employers, and then yes, eventually light rail to the airport. That's all part of the plan.
What's the timeline that we're looking at here?
Yeah, so the timeline initially, once the voters optimistically pass the tax, we're going to have a series of quick wins, right? So within 6 months, 12 months, 18 months, there will be tangible enhancements that voters will see to the existing systems that we have. And then as far as the commuter rail goes, we'll immediately begin designing, engineering, and eventually constructing, so that hopefully that commuter rail is operational within about a 7-year window from that tax passing. But immediate wins will be seen right away.
Okay, but just to be clear, a lot of these details, they still do have to be ironed out, right? When it comes to, for example, using that rail line, right? Sharing that rail system, does that still has to be kind of worked out and finalized? None of that is set in stone.
Yeah, absolutely. We are still working with BNSF, having those discussions, looking for opportunities to collaborate and partner so that we can move freight and commuter at the same time.
Deshaun, how soon do you think this could go to a vote in front of these voters in these communities?
We echo what Mayor Holt stated in his State of the City address last week. We foresee that if council support the referendum, that we're looking at a vote sometime in 2027.
I mean, I understand that as I put out there at the beginning of this, Oklahomans like to drive. We drive around,
Yes.
but this would be a game changer for a lot of different. I spent some time growing up in Denver. I remember the light rail system going in when I was going through high school. It took a long time, but it has changed some ways. And I'm sure that you look at a lot of these cities, as you said, when you're kind of planning all that out.
That's exactly right. We visited a lot of peer systems, and again, being a play on the future, it does take some time. But I think, looking ahead, having this type of transportation infrastructure, we're going to be glad we did it.
All right, keep us in the loop. I know you will. Thanks so much, Deshaun Heisel,
Thank you.
Jason Fairbrush. Thanks so much for being here. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely.